This video is going to be about the Chris Brown and CM Punk War Awards. Well, actually, before I get into that, there's one thing about my SmackDown review that I forgot to mention, just a quick little bit. One reason that Long and Boronitis were facing off was because they were first Boronitis tries to screw Punk out of victory, and then Long came out and said that Daniel Bryan cheated, which, well, he did, but anyway. So they basically both screwed one guy out of a victory. So then they're both going back and forth with each other, and so on and so forth. But anyway, enough about that. So about this war of words with Chris Brown and CM Punk. I guess you could technically say that, well, technically, there is no technically. CM Punk did actually start it, but in Punk's defense, what he said was accurate, though. Chris Brown is a woman beater, I know I've said about women before, act up, you get smacked up. Okay. But, there's a fine line between that and what Chris Brown did. What Rihanna did, granted I wasn't there, but from all the news reports that I've read about it, I highly doubt that Rihanna did anything to actually deserve, being beaten as badly as she was. Actually, I don't even think she did anything to deserve getting hit once, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion. But he beat her so badly that she's been in the hospital. And then, to try to make up for it, Chris Brown releases a half-assed public apology. And, I'll tell you why celebrities do public apologies. They don't do it because they mean it. Celebrities make public apologies for one reason only. It's because their PR teams tell them that they need to clean up their image, so they go and apologize. And so now here comes Chris Brown doing all these tweets about how he misses real wrestlers and not no punks and so on and so forth, and saying that he's done mentioning CM Punk's name and so on and so forth. Chris Brown, let me tell you something. I doubt you were ever a wrestling fan. Okay? But put it to you like this. The only reason you even know who wrestlers are is because either A, you went and you asked your PR team to Google some for you, or your fans are like, okay, well, here you go. Since you're getting in this war wars with CM Punk, here's a few wrestlers' names you can mention to throw out there to make it sound like you know what the fuck you're talking about. Or maybe even you yourself did a fucking Google search. To find out about who some of the past pro wrestlers were. But even if you do, even if you actually didn't do that, even if you were a wrestling fan, even if you are, that doesn't make up for what you did to Rihanna. And, speaking of, you say you ain't got the, you say you ain't gonna mention CM Punk anymore, that you ain't gonna not acknowledge him. You wanna know what that is, Chris? That's you basically saying that you ain't got the balls to fight CM Punk. And do you know why you ain't got the balls to fight him? Because if you met him one-on-one without any of your entourage around, he'd kick the shit out of you. Because, you know what? I would be able to kick your ass, Chris Brown. Do you know why I'd be able to kick your ass? Because I'm not a woman, Chris. Because that, that's what you do. You just go around smacking women around all the time. And then you got these bitches fucking sticking up for Chris Brown, these women. And there's probably teenage girls who have their posters plastered all over their, his poster plastered over their fucking room. Let me tell you teenage girls a little something right now. That man that you stick up for, if you got in a relationship with him, not only would he probably smack you around, and the reason that you stick up for him is because you masturbate to his fucking pictures, wishing upon wishing, you just wish every day of your life that he'd give you the time of day and that you'd get his cock. Well, guess what? You're never going to get his cock. The closest you're ever gonna get is masturbating, looking at his fucking picture. That's the only reason you women fucking like him. You teenage girls, because you're too fucking stupid to. All you care about is how he looks in pictures, and that he's, oh my god, Chris Brown, he's just so all you teenage bitches fucking do it. You did it. You did it with NSYNC, Backstreet Boys when that bullshit was popular. God, every time I fucking saw them on some fucking magazine cover, I wanted to throw up. You know, and then you got Chris Brown and God knows who else, but you know, it's funny. The reason you give a shit about this guy is just because you think he's hot. Only reason you care about him. And that you wish you'd get his fucking cock and that he'd give you the time of day. And the fact is, neither of them will happen. And I know you say, well, Rihanna forgave him, so get the fuck off his ass about what happened. You know, I think the only reason Rihanna said she forgave him is because she just wanted to bring the issue to a close. She didn't want to be talking about it for years upon years. So she figured, okay, here's what we'll do. Well, I'll say I forgive him, that way we're not talking about it anymore. And, you know, Chris Brown, you were never made to pay for what you did. I don't give a fuck how much trash you picked up off the sidewalk or highway or whatever the fuck you were picking trash up from. That was not paying for your crime at all. You know, there's only one way, you know, Chris Brown, there's only one way I might be able to condone what you did to Rihanna. Just only one way. And that is, if she were physically attacking you first, and you were defending yourself, then possibly. But it's been pretty well proven that you weren't defending yourself. That you just went apeshit and beat the shit out of Rihanna because you didn't like something she said or didn't like something she did or whatever. I mean, Chris Brown, you're a pathetic human being. You really are. You know, and I know a lot of people are going to say I'm the pathetic human being, but you know what? The only reason you stick up for this guy, a lot of you, is because, you know, he's famous and, like I said, you wish he'd fuck you. But guess what? He's not going to fuck you, and if he were just some nobody, you know, if this were a news story and Chris Brown were just some nobody, you know, that did this to his wife or girlfriend, if he were just some nobody but happened to make national headlines, you'd want to fucking throw a rock at Chris Brown. You'd want to fucking put a brick through the window of his car. You'd want to light his house on fire if he were just some nobody. But because he's some pop fucking, I'm not gonna call him a pop icon because that's like an insult to any pop icon. But because he's a fucking a worldwide celebrity and he happens to be young and you women think he's attractive, you're just gonna fucking hop on the forgive Chris Brown bandwagon. Well, that's bullshit, and you're even worse for hopping on that bandwagon. You know, CM Punk did a video in response to some things that Chris Brown said. I'm not going to get into every little tweet and, you know, the exact contents of the video that CM Punk did. If you go on Twitter, you can pretty much see the war of words between the two. I'll let you check it out for yourself. But I believe CM Punk is right for what he says about Chris Brown. Chris Brown is nothing but a coward. Chris Brown is a little bitch. And basically, he's using his celebrity status to, you know, Because he knows that with his celebrity status, he can pretty much do whatever he wants and, and pretty much get off scot-free for the majority of things that he does. Because he's got that little PR team that tries to make you believe that he had good reasons for doing everything he did. No, he didn't. He had no good reason to beat on Rihanna. No good reason. Honestly, I wish I could meet Chris Brown in person. Because even if I never got to hit him or something, I'd love to just spit in his face and tell him what a piece of shit I think he is. But I know you teenage girls are going to blindly stick up for him for your stupid fucking reasons. But just think about this. How are you going to feel one day if you meet a guy who does to you what Chris Brown did to Rihanna? How are you going to feel about it then? I guarantee you that if that happens to you, you'll feel quite a bit differently about the situation. And then you'll start taking his pictures off your wall. You'll stop masturbating over his fucking pictures. And I know that's what you teenage bitches do. And you can deny that you do, but I know you fucking do. Because that's what you fucking teenage bitches do. Because, you fucking go around, you masturbate to fucking whoever the teen idol is at the moment. You masturbate to his fucking pictures. Or if you do have a boyfriend, you're fucking your boyfriend, you're wishing it was that teenage celebrity, or that fucking teen idol like Chris Brown, or whoever the fuck else it is at the moment. Wishing it was him fucking you. And how pathetic that is. Because, it'll never happen. It'll just never happen. Anyway, CM Punk, what you said about Chris Brown, you're 100% correct. And, it's funny, Chris Brown, you talk about ain't no punks when you're a punk yourself. So maybe you should look in the mirror before you fucking tweet some shit like that. In fact, I might just go ahead and post this video on your page. And of course, I know that you're just gonna try to put some spin on it, try to make yourself seem holier than thou. But we all know the truth about you, Chris. You're a piece of shit. And we all know that if CM Punk got his hands on you, he'd kick the shit out of you, Chris. And you know it too. That's why you're going to hide behind your little entourage. You're going to hide behind your little bodyguards. And I know and you know why you got bodyguards all of a sudden, Chris? Especially probably more so now than you had before. Because you know a lot of men will just love to beat the piss out of you. And rightfully so, Chris. Rightfully fucking so. I could rant for hours about what a piece of shit Chris Brown is, what a coward he is, and how much of a little pussy he is, and how I think even I could kick Chris Brown's ass. But I'm kind of constrained on time, that's why I'm not going to. But CM Punk, oh wait, I almost forgot. This is the one time I will give Laurinaitis credit. I'm not going to call him Boronitis this time, I'll call him Laurinaitis. I'll give him credit for one thing. He stuck up for CM Punk and agreed with him. So Laurinaitis, I'll give you a little bit of applause for that. But that's probably the only cool thing you're ever going to do in your life. Is that. So, this is the last time I'm actually going to refer to something you did as cool. Anyway, let me know what you think. Post up your comments down there. Post up comments down there. Like I said, check out Twitter for the War of Words to see exactly what was said between the two. Watch CM Punk's video. But I'm in Punk's corner on this one. Not just because I'm a wrestling fan, but because I hate Chris Brown for what he did. He's a piece of shit. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. Peace out.